You know I need someone.
The most widespread investigation in the history of the record industry is underway right now. Grand juries in New York, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia could turn the tables on fraud and corruption in the music world.
Somebody other than the public are making the choices for them as to what they can hear and what they can buy and where they can buy it and how much they're going to pay for it.
New Jersey U.S. Attorney Tom Grealish will take 21 defendants to court this spring in a case that could show a clear connection between the record business and the mob.
Wherever there's a lot of money around is a reasonable degree of likelihood that organized crime will be there.
It all started right here in Derby at this warehouse, the headquarters of John Lamont's business empire. Lamont was a big-time record wholesaler who bought a load of some 2 million records from middleman Morris Levy. Lamont was expecting Levy to send him saleable records by people like Elton John, The Who, and Neil Diamond. Instead, he got truckload after truckload of worthless stuff like these 8-track tapes. When Lamont refused to pay, Levy allegedly arranged for this man, Gaetano Vastola, to break Lamont's jaw. That's called extortion, and prosecutors say it proves a mob connection since Vastola is a reputed member of the DeCavalcante crime family. And there may be other mob connections. Prosecutors in New York may be the next to hand down indictments. In addition to organized crime, those grand juries are believed to be looking at other rackets, including Payola. Payola dates back to the bandstand era, when radio station disc jockeys took payoffs in return for playing records. Musicians, including Frank Zappa, say Payola is still the rule. If you don't pay, your music doesn't get played.
My most recent information was that it was strictly cash, and that there were actual dollar values set for how much it would cost you to have a hit in certain cities in the United States. I mean, it was just like a fixed price, and you would give cash and you would get spins, and that was it.
This week, our Channel 10 News investigation has uncovered other rackets we told you about. Local record stores selling promotional records and illegal imports. Counterfeiters allegedly skimming $300 million a year in illegitimate profits. And allegations record companies themselves are doing secret deals, cheating artists like the Beatles out of millions of dollars in royalties. One reason the government is going after corruption is that artists and other apparent victims of fraud can't protect themselves.
There are very few artists who have the patience as well as the money to pursue a worldwide audit of a record company and who are willing to engage in the kind of protracted litigation that would result in their rights being vindicated.
Most artists don't understand enough about economics or normal business practices to survive in that marketplace.
Ultimately, prosecutors believe corruption in the record business not only victimizes artists, it victimizes music lovers, too.
I think the public is being victimized because I think the public is not getting to hear the product that it deserves to hear. Its choices are being limited artificially by outside extraneous forces.
John Lamont, the government's star witness in the New Jersey case, is now in hiding, and his lawyer says there have been threats on his life. His testimony will be heard when the case goes to court in March.
Good afternoon. In the news at midday, a prominent New England businessman and record company executive today is denying charges that he teamed up with a reported mobster in an extortion plot.
59-year-old Morris Levy is named in 3 counts of a 117-count federal indictment. He's accused of 2 counts of extortion and 1 count of conspiracy to commit extortion in connection with the alleged beating of a record distributor. Morris Levy was arrested yesterday at the Ritz-Carlton in Boston. Federal officials say he's the godfather of the American music industry. Levy is the president of the successful Strawberries record store chain here in New England. He's also the founder of the Roulette Records. Federal officials allege Levy uses his ties to organized crime to control the record industry. They say they were led to Levy following this man, Gaetano Corky Vastola, a reputed organized crime boss. This morning on NBC's Today Show, Levy says there is no connection between the mob and the music industry. Levy told reporter Brian Ross that charges against him are false. He says the only reason he was arrested was because he refused to participate in the witness protection program following threats on his life by the mob.
I don't believe in the entire thing as being constitutional. And the other one is there's nothing I could tell them about a mob And the third is, there's nothing I could do. I just wouldn't join. I don't believe it's right. I don't believe that people should be paid to testify and given I don't believe in the whole program. I don't think it's constitutional.
Levy will be arraigned September 29th in New Jersey.
Los Angeles Times reported today that a federal grand jury in California will soon investigate the multi-million-dollar record business. The story was promptly denied by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Los Angeles, but many people in the business have been called before a federal grand jury in Newark, New Jersey. They were asked about drug dealing, payola, mob connections, and high living at company expense. Here's a report from Betty Rollin on rich rock stars and the industry that shares their wealth.
The Shah of Iran? No. J. Paul Getty? No. The occupants of these limousines don't rule countries, don't make oil deals. They don't even make million-dollar movies. But they live as if they did all of those things. In their 20s, they are rich, powerful, temperamental, and pampered. They are the Led Zeppelin, a rock group on tour. And in the vernacular of the record biz, where to be merely big is nothing, the Zeppelin is very big. To get around, the Zeppelin uses a chartered 707, the kind of plane President Nixon uses. But the president's plane doesn't have an organ, nor a 15-foot mirrored bar, nor in the private quarters does it have 2 bedrooms and a fireplace. I do like to be beside the sea. Nor does the president travel with an entourage that looks like this. The boys in the Zeppelin have been flying high for a few years now, and they feel their lifestyle is only befitting their station.
I'm a bit upset that there's not a pool table on board, but apart from that, I think this is about the best way to travel.
The latest estimate is that at least 50 rock superstars earn more than $2 million a year. But it isn't only the performers who are making all of that money. The people around them are cashing in too. People like agents and managers, and sometimes people like mobsters and pushers. At the heart of the current scandal are reputed mafia hoods who have been after a piece of the rock action through drug dealing, protection rackets, and payola. Of course, no one has profited more from the rock phenomenon than the $2 billion a year recording industry. Scandal or not, the rock recording industry rolls on, and the stakes are high. Of 7,500 new releases a year, only 150 will be hits. So when company heads think they might have a hit, they sort of go crazy. Freak rock is big this year, so when David Bowie came along, a flaming red-haired, self-proclaimed bisexual, RCA put up $100,000 for promotion and publicity to make the chance of a Bowie hit less chancy.
This money, more or less, is spent in the direction of radio advertisements, in-store display units, pictures of David Bowie in-store, more or less, so the consumer can see the product that is available. Underground news media, newsprint, and several underground papers, which more or less pinpoints the markets in which we're trying to take David.
Flood this with red. There's not enough red in there.
All the promotion, all the effort, all the money, all the shadiness, all the payola is to attract the attention of kids like this.
Susan went to see Grateful Dead. She went to see...
A whole industry turns on the fancy and on predicting the fancy of American kids with cash. And in going after that cash, some of America's most successful corporations have lunged, tripped, and fallen, and now face the prospect of criminal prosecution. Betty Rollin, NBC News.